Join us on Patreon and become part of our journey to uncover history's untold stories. Your support helps us create in-depth content, bring hidden narratives to life, and keep history alive for everyone.
The Ethiopian tradition holds a profound and enduring reverence for the Virgin Mary, or Qiddish Mariam, as she is called in the Amharic language. This veneration is deeply embedded in Ethiopian Christianity, particularly within the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, one of the oldest branches of Christendom. The Ethiopian understanding of the Virgin Mary transcends mere devotion. It intertwines with scripture, theology, liturgy, and daily spiritual practice in a way that is both distinct and profoundly moving. To truly grasp the Ethiopian view of the Virgin Mary, one must first understand the unique lens through which the Ethiopian Church interprets Scripture. Ethiopian Christianity is rooted in a rich tapestry of Jewish, Christian, and African traditions. This fusion reflects the historical and cultural context of Ethiopia, a land that claims to have hosted the Ark of the Covenant, whose rulers trace their lineage back to the Queen of Sheba and King Solomon. Within this framework, the Virgin Mary is not only seen as the Mother of God, but also as a key figure in the divine plan of salvation, a bridge between humanity and divinity, and a symbol of purity, grace, and maternal love. Ethiopian Christians find the foundation for their Marian devotion in the Bible, where references to the Virgin Mary are read with a depth of allegorical and typological significance. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church, like other ancient Christian traditions, holds that the entire Scripture, both the Old and New Testaments, points toward Christ and, by extension, to his mother, Mary. She is seen as the fulfillment of Old Testament prophecies and symbols, and her life is interpreted as a reflection of divine wisdom and providence. One of the most significant Old Testament passages that Ethiopian Christians associate with the Virgin Mary is Isaiah 7 verse 14. Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and will call him Emmanuel. This prophecy is seen as a direct reference to Mary's role as the Mother of God, a role that is further elaborated in the New Testament accounts of the Annunciation, Luke 1 verses 26 to 38, and the Nativity, Matthew 1 verses 18 to 25, Luke 2 verses 1 to 20. Typology, the interpretation of Old Testament figures and events as prefigurations of New Testament realities, is a cornerstone of Ethiopian Marian theology. Mary is often compared to the Ark of the Covenant, which, according to Ethiopian tradition, resides in the ancient city of Aksum. Just as the Ark bore the presence of God in the form of the tablets of the law, Mary bore God in the flesh within her womb. This parallel is celebrated in Ethiopian hymns, prayers, and theological writings, which describe Mary as the new Ark and the tabernacle of the divine word. Another rich typological association is found in the Song of Songs, a book that Ethiopian Christians interpret as an allegory of the love between Christ and his church, and by extension, between Christ and his mother. Phrases like, "You are altogether beautiful, my darling," "There is no flaw in you," Song of Songs 4 verse 7, are applied to Mary, emphasizing her purity and her unique role in God's salvific plan. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church's theology of the Virgin Mary is deeply Christocentric. Mary's significance lies not in herself, but in her relationship to Christ. She is the Theotokos, the God-bearer, a title that affirms both the divinity of her Son and her role in the mystery of the Incarnation. This title, upheld by the Council of Ephesus in 431 AD, resonates powerfully within Ethiopian theology, where it is celebrated in liturgy, hymns, and iconography. Mary's role as the Mother of God is also seen as a model of faith and obedience. Her response to the angel Gabriel at the Annunciation, "I am the Lord's servant. May your word to me be fulfilled," Luke 1 verse 38, is viewed as the ultimate act of trust and submission to God's will. Ethiopian Christians see in Mary an exemplar of humility and devotion, qualities that they strive to emulate in their own spiritual lives. Furthermore, Mary is honored as an intercessor, a belief that finds support in biblical passages such as the wedding at Cana, John 2 verses 1 to 12, where Mary's request leads to Jesus performing his first miracle. In Ethiopian spirituality, Mary is seen as a compassionate mother who intercedes on behalf of humanity, bringing their needs and prayers before her Son. This belief is beautifully expressed in the liturgical prayer, Kydes Mariam, the praise of Mary, which is recited daily in Ethiopian Orthodox churches. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church's devotion to the Virgin Mary is perhaps most evident in its liturgical and devotional practices. The Church dedicates numerous feasts to Mary, including the Feast of the Annunciation, the Feast of the Dormition, and the Feast of the Presentation. These celebrations are marked by elaborate liturgies, processions, and hymns that extol Mary's virtues and her role in God's plan of salvation. One of the most beloved Marian feasts in Ethiopia is the Tzum, a 2-week fast in August that commemorates Mary's assumption into heaven. During this time, Ethiopian Christians engage in prayer, fasting, and acts of charity, reflecting their deep love and reverence for the Virgin Mary. The culmination of the fast is a joyous liturgical celebration marked by the chanting of traditional hymns such as the Wedes Mariam, the praise of Mary. Ethiopian devotional practices also include the recitation of the Salutation of Mary, a prayer that echoes the angel Gabriel's greeting at the Annunciation. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. This prayer, often accompanied by the veneration of icons and the lighting of candles, is a cornerstone of Ethiopian Marian spirituality. The Ethiopian view of the Virgin Mary is vividly expressed in the Church's rich tradition of iconography and sacred art. Ethiopian icons of Mary often depict her with a Christ child, emphasizing her role as the Mother of God. These images are characterized by their vibrant colors, intricate designs, and profound spiritual symbolism. One of the most famous Ethiopian icons of Mary is the Our Lady Mary of Zion, which is housed in the Church of St. Mary of Zion in Aksum. This icon is considered a national treasure and a symbol of Ethiopian Christianity. It is venerated not only for its artistic beauty, but also for its spiritual significance as a representation of Mary's maternal love and divine intercession. The Ethiopian reverence for the Virgin Mary extends beyond the confines of the Church and permeates the daily lives of Ethiopian Christians. Many families dedicate their homes to Mary by placing her icons or images in prominent locations. It is common for Ethiopian mothers to name their daughters after Mary, a practice that reflects the hope that their children will embody her virtues of purity, humility, and devotion. Mary is also a source of comfort and inspiration in times of hardship. Ethiopian Christians often turn to her in prayer, seeking her intercession and protection in moments of illness, loss, or uncertainty. Her maternal compassion is seen as a reflection of God's love, offering solace and hope to those who are suffering. The Ethiopian view of the Virgin Mary in Scripture is a testament to the richness and depth of Ethiopian Christianity. Through their veneration of Mary, Ethiopian Christians express their faith in God's redemptive plan, their love for Christ, and their hope in the intercession of His Mother. Mary's role as the Mother of God, her purity and humility, and her compassionate intercession resonate deeply within the Ethiopian spiritual tradition, inspiring devotion and shaping the lives of believers. In a world that often seems fragmented and divided, the Ethiopian devotion to the Virgin Mary offers a powerful example of unity and love. It reminds us that, through faith and devotion, we can draw closer to the divine and find hope and solace in the maternal embrace of Mary, the Mother of God.